Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's about 2 months since I last posted the content here on my YouTube channel. Yeah, it's been ups and down, I told you about my channel. My channel is about my daily struggles, and I want my content to be as organic as possible. I just don't want to, come here to give a random thing that did not really exist, but things that I am currently dealing with, or things that I've dealt with and overcome, or things that might seems like I still don't know. I need some more clarity about it. That's what this page is all about. So while I'm still aiming at consistency on this platform, I also want to make sure it's natural and as organic as possible. So today, what are we talking about? We are talking about signs, red flags to look out for in an organization. You can tell when there's one or two or three of these signs, you can tell the organization will have a bad or weak organization culture. So we'll be talking about 5 different things you have to look out for to know or to denote an organization have a bad organization culture, or if they have a good organization culture. What do I mean by organization culture? Organization culture is a behavior, set of belief, how an organization makes decisions, and how they behave, how they handle situations, complaints, grievances, and how it affects how the organization does things, how the people in the organization behave. That's the layman language. I want to talk about the red flag, things you should watch out for in an organization. Sometimes, have you ever wondered, a job you seem to love, when you started the job, you are eager to go to the job, you feel life, you feel energy when you're going for the job, but all of a sudden you started feeling drop in energy and you started feeling unmotivated to go to the job, you started feeling unproductive in the job. Everything begins to, seems like you're getting confused on the job. These are signs to check out for, to understand that you are not the problem. It might be a situation of bad organizational culture. Number one, when an organization starts to encourage you to take TOIL. TOIL means time off in lieu, rather than giving you an option to take TOIL or take an overtime payment. Let's take it this way. If you are working as a part-time in an organization, you're just working there 3 days, and they've instructed you to take a TOIL to work on a day you have not been contracted to work. Meanwhile, you're just working with them part-time 3 times a week. Let's say Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now you've been told to work on a Thursday. But because you're working with them on a part-time, you've taken another job for Thursday and Friday. Now you've been told to work on a Friday, knowing fully well they've come into your personal life, because normally you have a life after the job, and legally you are legally binded with them with a contract to work with them 3 times a week. You know what I mean? And then you've been told to take a TOIL, time off in lieu, for a day that you'll be working outside your contracted hours. That is a one sign of bad organization culture. Because in that case, if I'm being honest with you, there are special cases where you have to work outside your contracted hour. Ideally, that's not right, but there are few instances, especially when it relates to your project, that you have to work outside your work hours. Maybe for some reason you have to work outside. They have to make it an offer to you, a very good offer that the employee has to understand that no, they are not just exploiting me, or they are not being inconsiderate. This just happened, and because this has happened, they've compensated you well for it. Do you know what I mean? So there has to be that point where you are given a choice. Number 2, feeling guilty to take time off or sick leave. Some organizations are very, very good at that. You may not know because they don't pronounce it for you to see. It's always silent. The organization culture is built in a way where it's difficult to take time off. They make it seem like without you, the project can proceed. And as human beings, this is where we build our resilience. To build your resilience, sometimes you have to take time off. Sometimes you have to do what really keeps you going. Sometimes you take time off to go have fun with family. Sometimes you take time off to do whatever that needs to be done. And some of us, especially when you are working part-time, you also have other things you're doing by the side. This time off, you can use to focus on other things aside just job. Because as human beings, sometimes we get really, really bored and we want to try something else. But when you are in an organization where it seems impossible, or they make you feel guilty or make you feel bad about taking time off or sick leave when you don't even feel like you have more energy to keep going, then there's a problem. That's also a red flag and things to look out for. And you might also be in an organization where these things is peculiar in their culture and you might not know. So I'm telling you this, it's a bad organization culture. Number three, hidden overwork culture and making you work beyond your contracted hours. This is a daylight robbery. Have you ever been in a situation where sometimes you wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and you are thinking about work? Those are signs of burnout. Have you ever wondered when you get back home from work and you're still working, you still have emails to send, you still have things to do. It's always something to do and it's always job related. You are working outside your contracted hours. Let's say, for instance, when you took up a job, you get the job description, then you go through your job description, then you check yourself. Does it fit into your drive? Does it fit into your schedule? Does it fit into your experience, what you aim to achieve in the next 2, 3, 4 years? That's when you said, okay, I'm going to apply for this job. But in this case, when you get into the job, the organization, in a way, over time, they start making you do jobs outside your contracted hours. They start making you do jobs that you've not been employed to do. This in the long run become exploitative. So you have to also watch out for that hidden overwork culture. Number four, increasing number of staff taking sick leave. And this can denote many things. It can be lack of satisfaction in job. It can be burnout. It can be stress. It can be different reasons. A worker that is healthy, that is not overworking, would not have any reason to take sick leave. And then, because I've always worked at the back end, I've worked as an HR assistant, I've seen an increased number of sick leave taken by staffs, and I've seen reasons why staff take sick leave. I've been in an organization where I've gone through the report of the previous person, the previous project manager, the previous project coordinator. I've gone through their project, to give me a guideline to what project I'm currently working on. I've seen severe cases where they make recommendations, right? They make recommendations, they write their challenges, and you can see the trend of their grievances. And then you wonder, why is this person not working in the organization anymore all of a sudden? It can easily tell you what is going on in the organization and what kind of culture they encourage in the organization. So please be on the watch out for that. Increased number of sick leave by employees or staff. Number five, micromanaging employees. And if your concerns are being addressed, or if your voice, there's something they call employee voice, is it implemented on the SMT level, senior management levels? Are your concerns being addressed? And because this is worse, is the worst of them all. A friend of mine told me about the line manager that constantly, closely monitor what he's doing on his job. Even though his job is community based, which means he has to do a lot of outreach work, they make him come in the morning to resume in the office as early as 9 o'clock, even though the project starts at 9. The project, which is based in the community, starts at 9. They make him come into the office at 9, then walk to wherever is going in the community to run the project. And at that point, where the project finishes at 5, they still call him to come back to the office just to sign out, just so it can be closely monitored to see if he's working, if he's using his time judiciously and all. This is the worst of them all. It leads to burnout of staff. It leads to staff worrying about if the employer really trusts them or something, and it leads to burnout. It leads to stress, unnecessary stress, and this is also a red flag. It's a very big red flag for you to watch out for in an organization. And the sooner you understand this, the better for you, because when you start feeling the stress, the end point of it is burnout. And then when you feel burnout, it can come in form of panic, serious mental health difficulty. And if your concerns are being addressed, or if your voice, there's something they call employee voice, is it implemented on the SMT level, senior management levels? Are your concerns being addressed? And because I've worked in organizations where you express yourself, you raise your concerns, and they either acknowledge it and not do anything, or they don't even respond at all. Or sometimes they don't like to put it in writing. They call you, which is the first stage of raising grievances. They call you informally just to have a discussion. And when you still are not happy with the outcome of the discussion, they don't take it further, and they make you feel like it's either you leave. They might not say it directly to you. There's something they call constructive dismissal, and they make you feel like it's either you leave or you take the job. So it's another thing to also watch out. Very bad organization culture. So with all this list I've created, please look at the organization where you're currently working. Do they have one or two of these? If they have the 5 of it, then that's a total no. If they have one of it, see how you can address it. See how you can work with your line manager. Speak to them. Let them know your concerns and all that, to better, for you to work effectively in your role, to contribute to the development of the organization, and also for you to feel safe and confident in your role. Thank you. Thanks for watching this episode, and I promise to come back next time to give you more exciting content. about my life, about my experiences and things I'm dealing with, how I've been able to overcome it. And if I'm still struggling with it or still dealing with it, if you've got an answer, please do reach out to me and let's make this happen. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.